Hey traders, John Howell here. Welcome to another market update with yours truly. Just a market update across all the markets, guys, when it comes to obviously the indices, tech sector, mining stocks, gold, silver, stuff like that. And we'll just see what's going on and let's get straight into it. Don't place a trade based on what you'll see in this video because there is no guarantees of making a profit in the market. It takes you a long time to become a good trader. So this video here is just to educate you to become a much better trader. Alrighty traders, let's get straight into it. Before I do start traders, I am running a masterclass, webinar, whatever you want to call those things. And on that, I'm just going to share with you exactly the number one thing that I had to do to go from $250,000 in debt to actually then making money from trading. I'm going to share with you my scanning software that I scan the markets with. I'm going to share you my trading system. I'm going to show you my recent trades that I've taken and so much more. If you go to johnsfreetraining.com, or there should be a link in the description there, click on that, guys, and you'll be able to register for my next training that I'm actually going to be running. So go join that, guys, and I promise you when I see you on there, you're going to absolutely love it. So, oh, by the way, guys, did you watch the Covington and Masvidal fight? Any of you guys UFC fans, did you watch the Covington and Masvidal fight? I was really impressed by Covington's wrestling skills. Like, wow, he really out-wrestled him. So that's all I want to say with that. So, some people saying, John, shut up. I've wasted 1 minute on your ass so far. Let's actually start with the indices first, and then we'll get to the good old mining sector and gold and silver and all that sort of stuff out there. So, the really interesting thing that is happening right now when it comes to the markets, which is creating a lot of uncertainty, okay? A lot of uncertainty in the markets is obviously what's going on out there in the world. On a technical level, okay, on a technical level, what we've got here right now, you can see that we have a high, we have a lower high through here, and then we have a potentially another lower high through here. So you can see that we had this very sort of, it's sort of like a weak pullback. We're not actually getting any, I was actually hoping to see this line through here. This was my do or die line. I was hoping to see a bit of a breakout to the upside from here. Now, we still can get that, but right now on the S&P 500, we're holding right at that line through there. Okay, so this line through here, that 4,300 level is definitely an area of support. And you can see what actually happened yesterday. Came down and bounced right off that level. So we're squeezing up into this level through here. So it's going to be really interesting to see what actually happens here. If we break below here, then we're probably going to come down and test the new lows through say the 4,100 level. Now, if we do end up holding here, and we hold here for a while, and we actually start to break to the upside, then what's going to happen? Man, my mouse is slow today. Ooh. All right, let's get off my mouse, man. So if we do, right, if we do start to sort of fill in this area and then we start to break to the upside, the key area for me that I'm looking at right now would be this area through here. You can see it's actually made this high. We want to see the market get above here because it'll be above that resistance line and above this sort of resistance line through here as well too. That'll be the area for me that I'll be looking at when it comes to that. If I look at the absolute like real big picture, let's actually squeeze this out a little bit more. In fact, what I want to do is I want to go to the weekly charts. Now, traders, notice actually I don't have anything actually on the screen. I have volume, but I'm not even using volume. I'm actually just looking at the markets. One thing that we're actually seeing through here, trades, you can see we actually had a very big move up, and now we're getting an overall pullback through here. So, and you can see it's just this overall move we're getting right now. Okay, so if we see what we're seeing right now on this weekly on this chart through here, we are getting stair stepping down formation. But just remember, in the big picture scheme of things, that's right, it's a scheme. In the big picture scheme of things, this is just a pullback after what? A very big move up. So do not be thinking we're going to start to see a 80% crash. Now, that's always the hardest thing about trading, right? Is what I'm about to tell you, is that anything can happen. Oh, John, tell me something that's definitely going to happen. You're in the wrong game. I'm sorry. I can't even tell you what's going to happen when you step out your front door today. You could be hit by lightning. That's what life's all about, right? And I think sometimes that we spend so much time trying to, we spend so much time trying to be like safe, and I definitely want to know what's going to happen. And because we don't take any, because I definitely want to know what's going to happen. And some people like they're on that attitude. They actually miss so many opportunities out there in the markets. You can increase your probabilities of doing things, but it's so many people. It's interesting, right? A lot of people like they. Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna stop myself there. I'm gonna go to a massive tangent. So we are getting a bit of a pullback here. If I have a look at, I'm just trying to look at the absolute big picture through here. Like, this is the weekly charts. The big thing, it's really important, traders, when you're looking at the charts. So look at the daily charts, but also then look at the weekly charts to see. What I'm trying to see right now is I'm trying to see the big picture, see if there's any trend lines that may come into play through here. So the big thing I'm looking at here right now is look at this here. And people say, oh, technical analysis doesn't work, John, you suck. Look at this through here, traders. Look at this. Isn't this just incredible? Look at that. From the major low of 2009, get this. Now, this is why TA is just, it blows my mind, especially the simple TA, right? Not the, let me add 4,000 indicators, plus 10,000 moving averages, plus the Bollinger Bands, plus the R. Right? No. The most powerful things in the markets is, look at this here. From the major low on the weekly chart to this major low point through here in 2012, right? We connect that. Look what happened. It came right down to there, and that's where it actually paused. Look what happened here. It actually came down there, paused, and then reversed straight back up, and that was actually the low. Isn't that fascinating? It's like, and traders, I know this is hindsight, but guess what? You can do this on this pullback that's happening right now. This exact same technique I'm telling you right now. If you start to apply just this stuff that I'm telling you across the individual stocks. So it's not a stock market, it's actually a market of stocks, right? So if you apply this to the market of stocks, to the individual stocks, you may go through the S&P 500 and spend some time. Yes, I know you may sit your ass down for a few hours and do some trend lines and draw some trend lines. It's okay. It's not going to give you a heart attack. But I promise you do that and you start to analyze the big picture like, there's actually a lot of these big pullbacks we're getting, especially in the tech sector and all these other the actual stocks out there. Guess what's going to happen? We're potentially going to be getting some sort of, coming down to longer term support levels where the market's going to give you potentially some bounces through there. So that's going to be really, 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 really important in the markets. And those who are doing your analysis, and this is actually what happened. I'll bring up Apple here for a minute. This is exactly what happened with Apple. When we actually went through the vid crash, this whole period through here, right? So see this period through here, that there was the vid crash. When that was happening, exactly what I just shared with you just a minute ago, like just then, is exactly what I was doing. I was going through all the stocks because on the big pullback, I knew we're going to get some bounce. So then I was looking through all the markets to see which ones were giving me that really good significant level. And I saw that on Apple right here. Look at this here. So I saw this. Look at this here on Apple. Major low point 2019. It didn't go back to all the way through here. You can actually see. Yeah, anyway. All right. I'll keep it simple for you guys. Low. Look at this here. Look where it actually bounced with Apple. Plus also what I saw with Apple was this here. Look at that there. That significant high back here in 2018. And then it came all the way down to where? That significant high. And then it actually paused there, but also paused at a major trend line. This is like X marks the spot, right? So when that happened, look at this here. So when that happened, I actually bought call options on that day. And it's just, and then I wrote them up. I made like, I don't know, 300 or 400% return on these call options. It was just incredible. But the purpose of me telling you this is that's exactly what I'm doing, guys. On this pullback, there's going to be opportunities because we are going to get a bounce. So are you ready? Or are you just so entrenched in the bullshit in the media out there that that's happening out there? Or are you actually Are you actually going through your analysis and doing the right thing? And making sure that you are doing your just doing your research, because there are plenty of opportunities out there, in the actual in the marketplace, guys. And sometimes I have haters on my I have sometimes haters on my YouTube channel, right? So the message to my haters is this: I have decided with a peaceful spirit and a loving heart and a clear mind that some people can still kiss my ass. So traders, that's the reason why what I'm looking at right now, if I go back to the S&P 500, what I'm doing here, guys, what I'm doing is I'm actually not just giving you a market update, guys. I'm actually teaching you really good, powerful TA to use for the rest of your life. All right. So this is like a training in itself. So the reason why I've just applied this, because then I want to apply the exact same thing to the upside. So firstly, I want to create a parallel trend line, and then I want to see if there's any levels that could be going on there. So nah, that's not there. So I'm going to take that off. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start what I'm doing right now, traders, I'm looking at the major high points. So I can see that we have a major high point here. I can see we have these major high points all through here as well too. And man, my mouse is just doing a bit of a dubalaki thing today. And I can see these major high points. So maybe there's a bit of a trend line going through here somewhere that may come into play. And as you can see, look at that there. Isn't that interesting? Because traders, these trend lines do come into play. Because so many people are focused on, let me go back to the daily charts, because so many people are focused on the here and the now, they're not focusing on that big picture. Remember I said before that on the Apple trade, and so many more trades I can bring up just like that. But so now what I can do is I can start to draw a trend line from the major high points, maybe even something through there. Nah, that's not it. Maybe that's it. There might be something through there. I think there's something more through this angle through here. So I'm going to try to get this angle. So let's actually try to get this more of this angle through here. I'd have to say that'll be the angle through there. That'll be that thick line, right? See that thick line through there? Actually, let's actually just make that a little bit thicker now. See that angle through there? Is there actually any? Let me actually create a parallel trend line. See if there's actually anything going on through there. Actually, there is, isn't there? Look at that there. Actually, bounce through there, bounce, a little bit false breakout, bounce. So there was actually, I don't need that line anymore. So let me take that off the screen. And now you see what I've just done there? I've now identified a really significant channel. So we may get a little bit more downside movement, but where are we likely to get a bounce? Because traders, we are going to get a bounce. Okay, this is not the top of the markets. This is just a correction. So please, traders, don't be so fooled by what's going on right now. Oh, what's my alarm tell me to? Oh, put the bin out. I have to remind my dumb ass to put the bin out sometimes. I did it a few weeks ago. I didn't put the bin out, and the gardener came and he did all my gardens and my clipping and my hedging and all that sort of stuff. And he puts the grass in my bin, and my dumb ass didn't even put the bin out. And I'm like, oh shit! I got nowhere to put my rubbish now, so I was stuck with just Anyway, so I've set a reminder now every start of the week to put the bin out, because that's when we put the bin out. Anyway, so that's what we're looking at there, right, Trey? So we could actually be getting a bit of a pullback through there, and there is that level of strong, significant resistance. Like it may even be a bit higher. Like it may even be somewhere through there. Right, and maybe it's an area, right? Not so much sense of like it may even be that there. Like, oh, that actually looks a lot better. So let me take that off the screen now. Let me see if I can. Right, yeah. So pretty much there, right? But you can see this major high, major high, major high. You can see this area has a lot of sort of confluence, right? A confluence in the markets there. So you can see that that's what's going on there. So traders. Once again, where the hell am I mouse going? Man, this one take video to tell you. So traders, if we do get a bit of a pullback, traders, please don't be thinking this is the end of the world, because I know your mate Harry Dent's going to come out and say, I told you so. You've been telling me so since 2020. Actually, no. 2000. 20 years. You'll be right. You'll be right soon. So that's what I'm looking at there. So if we go to apply again, traders, the reason why I'm doing this much more longer video is because I'm trying to add a bit of humor to it as well too, but also teach you good, simple, powerful technical analysis that do work on stocks out there. And the reason why, and if you do this right now, just like I did with Apple, and just like I'm doing right now, and I'm not going to share the exact stocks I'm looking at right now, but there are stocks that are setting up with this big pullback that are like, I gotta set up just incredible moves to the upside, because we are going to get a big bounce soon. And traders, there is a massive probability by the end of this year, this S&P 500 is going to be a 5,000 plus print. 5,000 plus print. So get ready for it. Get ready, because this is going to be a buying opportunity of a lifetime. And plus, if you have a look at the fear and greed index, right? Look at this fear and greed index. Oh my goodness. Look at this here. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. John, this no, exactly what I just said with you, right? TA, and then look at this fear and greed index. Look where it's, oh my goodness, maximum fear. Buy when people are fearful. Let me go down to here. Look at this here. Oh my goodness. We get any more downside out of this thing, this thing's going to be pegging down to here. Guess what that's going to mean, guys? Oh, guess what this guy's going to do with me? Yeah, I'm going to sell the kids. Kids, I'm sorry, but you're off to the races. Right? Because this, anyway, I hope you can see, guys, there's amazing opportunities that are coming right in front of our faces right now, and it's coming. Let's go have a look at the Nasdaq as well too, and I'm gonna apply the exact same thing with the Nasdaq. And as you can see, when you apply the exact same sort of trend lines with the Nasdaq, like that there, and look at this here. It's just amazing, right? Just amazing. Look at this here. So from that major low point, so you had all I did is just connect those major low points through there, major low, and then we had this major low through here, as you can see. So then you can see look at that there. Bounce 2016, bounce middle of 2016, bounce 2019. Oh, look what we actually paused. Long-term TA trend lines, guys, are the king. The king. All right, so let's have a look at this here. So we had a big pullback on the Nasdaq. We are getting a bit of a pullback here on this weekly chart on the Nasdaq. Where are those trend lines that I did on the S&P on the Nasdaq as well too? So let's actually see if we can get the angle right. There is actually a bit of an angle, so it's probably going to be through, I'd have to say through there would be the angle that I'm using right now. Yeah, that'll be the angle, that'll be the line that I'm going to use for the Nasdaq. So the Nasdaq is actually getting very close to that level. I wonder if there's a bit of a trend line, a parallel trend line, a bit of a channel going on through there as well. There's probably something going on through there. Let me actually take that off the screen. I'm just trying to clear my charts up now. So I'm just looking for longer term, just seeing the angles. I'm trying to get the angles. This is what you do. This is what I do to trades. So that the Nasdaq is getting down towards these major levels of significant areas. So maybe it's through there. And again, guys, I'm just looking for areas of where the market may bounce. Where it just may bounce. And again, it's probably going to be more like through there. That's it there. Okay. So this will be, let me just make that a little bit thicker now. That'll be the line that'll say, okay, this is where the market's probably likely to bounce. So we may even get a more of a downward movement, because look what's happening now. We actually are on the daily charts. We're actually getting that rollover. Look at this here. It rejected off there. I did a video last week calling do or die. We actually got a rejection point at that level. And now we're actually coming down. So it's going to be really interesting to see what actually happens here. Do we create a high low here, or do we just continue down? And if we do continue down, we're probably going to continue down, probably around about that 12,000 level. But traders are we're getting very close to a significant major bottom in the markets before we start to make our way back up to all-time new highs. Let's have a look at the Russell. Russell sort of just in no man's land on the daily charts, bit of a double bottom through here, double bottom, and then we have a sort of a double top through here, and then we're just sort of just going sideways. So it's going to be really interesting to see, do we actually create a high low here breaking up, or do we not? Let's go have a look at the energy sector, and energy sector is just making its move, isn't it? Just making its move. I did a video at the start of the year saying we're getting ready for some really big moves, and I actually had a target overall of 80. I didn't realize I was going to get there so quickly. I actually had a trade. For you guys remember at the start of the year, I had a trade on the financial sector. Sorry, the energy sector. Very, 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 very big move to the upside when it comes to the energy sector. Anyway, let's get on to the gold and silver and mining stocks. So gold, once again, we all know gold has actually started to make its breakout. So traders, I do believe this is the start of a very big leg up. This very big breakout. And as you guys know, I've said this many times, that because we have spent so much time doing nothing, we have got so much energy built up that this move in gold right now is the start of, to me, I believe we're on our way to 3,000, but we will get pullbacks. Okay, guys. So, if you're not in gold right now, just wait for a pullback. Wait for a good pullback, because we will get a big pullback first. We may not, but wait for a pullback first. If you're not in gold, you should be. If you're looking for a longer term position in gold, like I'm actually in gold long term. You should be accumulating through this level through here, and then those who are patient are reaping the rewards when it comes to that as well too. This major high point is up here, but once again, traders, looking at this weekly chart as well too, we're probably gonna run up to all-time new highs, and then maybe get a bit of a pullback, and then once we break, then I see an overall movement to the upside, to 3,000. Now here's the really interesting thing, traders. The gold is breaking out, and I believe the stock market is going to make a very nice move to the upside as well too. That tells me that as gold is making a break, and so is the stock market to the upside, if that does happen this year, that tells me we're probably going to see a recession into next year. And especially if they start to raise interest rates more than once this year, if they start to do it 3 or 4 times this year, we're probably this year's not going to be the recession. Actually, it may be. We may get a recession at the end of this year, depending on how fast they raise the interest rates. But if it's not this year, then it's going to be next year. We're going to see the recession and the pullback and the stock market crash and all that sort of stuff. But it's not right now, traders. Let's go have a look at silver. Silver right now is actually broken out of this long-term level through here. We definitely did have a lot of significant resistance around that 25 level. And again, we had this very big move up, and now we're getting a bit of a breakout right now on here. The problem with this breakout here right now is that we've been going up for quite some time. So if you know anything about the markets do this, right? They'll run up, and sometimes they may give you a bit of a false breakout. And how they do that sometimes is when the market will run up, give you a bit of sideways, and then a break to the upside, and then it may come back down like that. So I wouldn't be too surprised if this actually starts to give us a bit of a false breakout to the upside, because we've been going up. If we get a bit of a pullback first, then that's going to be a different story. Let's go have a look at the mining sector. Mining sector is actually breaking out very strongly, very, very, very strongly to the upside. As you guys would know, short-term TA, I've been trying to analyze what's been going on here and what's been happening on a short-term TA. Long-term analysis, I've always been long the mining sector. I've always been very, very bullish long-term, but the short-term, I've just never been trying to understand what's going on in the markets. But now we're starting to get this big breakout. It tells me that we're now, especially on the GDX, because we're now starting to see this very strong move. We made a move double bottom, and now we're breaking out to the upside. So if we have a look at this double bottom projection, which is probably going to be this high up here on the GDX. So we have the high, then we go down to the low, then we project this up through to here. Yeah, so it's probably that level through there, right? That level through there, maybe a bit high, around the 40 level. So that's where it looks like we're on our way on the GDX right now. Double bottom, race to those highs. So again, traders, the worst thing to do is try to jump in now if you're not part of the GDX move, because there could be just four thoughts just spread in my mind, and I had to say one. Right, because there could be a possibility of it pulling back first and then going for a move to $40. So the worst thing is that yes, I believe we're going to get the $40, but how it does that I'm not too quite sure when it comes to that. So yeah, so again, the worst thing to do is jump in on GDX right now because we've already made a very big move up. Always wait for a bit of a pullback first. You always want to wait for the pullback first. Gives you the best chance of actually doing well in the markets. GDXJ, which actually this is the one that I'm actually in right now, long term. We haven't actually broken out of this leg through here yet. So we've just been in this very big. If I go back to the weekly charts, yeah, we're just in this very big sort of sideways range. So the junior minor stocks, haven't actually broken out yet. So it's going to be really interesting to see when that happens, when we actually start to change the trend. Because you can see we've actually had this very big sort of longer term level coming down. You can see that's actually where it is right now, at that level. So if we can start to get back above 48, then we're actually now starting a new upward trend, which is going to be very, very, very bullish for obviously for the mining sector. Let's go to the SILJ. And same sort of thing, right? We've had this very, very, very strong move up on the weekly charts. On the weekly chart, we have this significant level of resistance that we need to get past. Once we can start to get past here, then it'll be starting to form some sort of an upward trend. And then I believe we're off to the races from there. And the SIL, which is actually creating, look at this here. This is something I actually talked about. I talked about last week as well too. Look what's happening through here on the SIL. Really interesting. We had a low point, a false breakout, a false breakdown, right? And now look what's happening right now. We're actually creating what? We're now creating a higher low, and now we're actually starting to run up. So the SIL looks like it's actually creating a bit of a major bottoming point through here. And then now we're creating a higher low. Once we actually start to break past this 37 level, then that's going to break also out of this level through here. So once we actually start to do something like this, then we're probably likely to start to see this thing start to make a very, very, very nice trending move to the upside. So it does look like that we're possibly getting to a very good, significant major bottom on the SIL sector all through this. So very, 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 very powerful stuff, guys. That's happening in the markets overall. Traders, I want to invite you to my webinar that I'm running today. And on this webinar, I'm going to share with you all the details to my #1 trading system for the last 17 years and how I only trade 1 hour per day. Plus, also going to be learning the 3 secrets that I had to master over the last 17 years to generate a really good income. If you go to johnsfreetraining.com, or there should be a link in the description, click on that. Go over there right now, register. If you are struggling with the trading right now, I promise you this is going to completely game change, because you're going to understand why you are going backwards and why you're losing money. And then I'm going to teach you exactly what the system I use that gets me a really high % win-loss ratio. So this is what I want you to do right now. Go to johnsfreetraining.com. Go over there, register for my webinar right now today, because you're going to absolutely love it. Or there should be a link in the description. And I look forward to seeing you on the webinar. So go to that right now, and I look forward to seeing you on my next webinar. Go to that right now. Go to johnsfreetraining.com. Go to that right now.